Hey, what's up? Jeff here. So I'm at the Palms in Vegas. Came up here for a business conference, and I just gotta say, I just got out of a room, and it was really cool. I met some really, really cool people. That's the thing. This is not an indictment of individuals and how awesome they are and how much value they have to give, and frankly, how much fun I have getting to know them and being around them. But the old school model of what I just saw, which was probably about 60 people that are all trying to do business that old school way, belly to belly. They're handing out business cards, and over again, the number one thing that I heard was people talking about they need to get their message out, or they need to get more business. They need to get, that there's a gap of understanding. That they have this thing. There was one guy in there who's who was an artist. There was one person in there who, has this particular sales technique. There was this one person in there that had a health and wellness product. There was one person in there that has video services, and just again and again, people have these passions or these talents or these business models or these products or whatever, and they don't understand how to get it out there. And God bless them. They're here. They're trying. They're willing to do the work. Like, the spirit is there, and they're going around handing out business cards, pressing the flesh, and I sit there and I almost feel like a stranger in a strange land, because I'm like, man, everything I do is like almost about making this whole world, this whole scene obsolete. And it's not that personal face-to-face relationships aren't important, but the idea that you're gonna go into a room and you're gonna business card your way into growth it's like, again, try to say this, it's not like being condescending, it's a passé idea. It's an idea whose time has come and gone. That's just not how the world works anymore. And yet I come to these conferences and I realize 95% of the world, maybe it's 99%, don't actually realize how things happen now. Or maybe they've intellectually realized it, but they haven't behaviorally and emotionally embraced it. And I come back again and again to the reality. I don't think it's a problem of intellectual understanding. I think it's a personal, almost psychological block that a lot of people have towards realizing how the world has changed and how business has changed. Because if people fully understood the different model, the new paradigm of how business relationships and how awareness and authority get built, well, I think to the extent that they do, it's terrifying for them, because it's all about openness. It's about vulnerability, it's about transparency, it's about projection, it's about authenticity, it's about seeing yourself in a bigger scope. It's about expanding and putting yourself out there in a way that scares people. There's something very safe about going into a dark room and handing out these little cards and having a truncated interaction that ends when you hand the card. It's like, whew, I handed the card, okay, all right, now on to the next one, right? Go on to the next one. But the reality is, that card, it's probably going in the trash, or it's getting washed in somebody's washing machine. It's probably not going to convert into the business that it used to in the old days. Nowadays, you got to be shooting videos. You got to be putting yourself out there on websites. You got to be, starting a podcast. You got to be writing a book. You got to be stepping out into the market and going, look, I am the authority. I am the expert, and I am here to help, and I am here to serve, and I am here to give, and I'm here to be vulnerable, and I'm here to be real, and I'm here to have nothing to hide. Because right now, all that really matters is that people know you and they remember you. That's it. They know you and they remember you. And here's where they're not going to know you and they're not going to remember you, is when you're one out of 40 people who came up to them at a networking event and handed them a business card. They're not going to know you. They're not going to remember you. You're not going to stand out to them. Honestly, and what I did at the event, instead of handing out your business card, get them to follow you on social. Be like, hey, Jeff Lerner Official, follow me on Facebook, follow me on YouTube. And then you have essentially the ability to hand them your business card every single day. Only it's not a business card. It's something that comes to life. It's something that has energy. But then you're going to have to follow it up with actually doing that work. And again, I don't think it's a problem of comprehension. I think it's a problem of confidence. I think for most people, the idea that I'm going to go to a networking event and I'm gonna get 40 or 50 people to follow me on social, and I'm gonna start putting myself out there on a consistent basis so that over time I become top of mind for whatever my industry product or service is for that entire group of people. And you repeat that formula every week. Instead of passing out business cards every week, go to a different conference every week and repeat that formula. At the end of a year, you'll have thousands of people that you are saturating their consciousness with awareness of who you are and what you offer. That'll change the game. That'll change the fortune for you. Next time, you'll be the one at the conference talking about how you created that result. And I'm saying this, and it's gonna fall on a lot of deaf ears, because I've been saying this for a while, and it always does, because at the end of the day, there's gonna be a lot of people who go, I just don't wanna put myself out there like that. Let me tell you, the world doesn't care what you wanna do. The world doesn't care what you're scared of. The world doesn't care how you feel. The world works the way the world works now. I'm an introvert. I'm naturally shy. The first time I did this, I was terrified. But it's how the world works, and at a certain point I had to make a decision. Do I want to be safe and ultimately obsolete? Or do I want to put myself out there and grow something really cool? And right now there's this window of opportunity because the whole world hasn't woken up to this. Like the next generation, they're gonna come along and they're gonna be totally down because they're used to sending snaps and they're used to doing stories and they're used to putting themselves out there. But right now there's a window of opportunity where if you'll embrace that this is how business gets done, you'll have a 10-year running start on most of your competition because most of them, they're not gonna come around because it's too scary for them. So that's my advice. Next time you go to a networking event, leave the business cards at home. Go around and get everybody to follow you. Don't try to turn people into a contact. Try to turn people into a fan. And when you start thinking that way, you think, hey, I have fans. Well, if you have fans, what's your responsibility? Your responsibility is to stay present and even to potentially entertain your fans. That's a completely different mindset than saying, I need to grow my Rolodex and pass out lots of my cards. It's just not gonna materialize like it used to. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. I'll catch you later.